G'day kids, Ozzie here. Now just before we get stuck into today's episode, if you haven't seen it already, our merchandise is now live on our website, aussieforkids.com, where you can get all of your favourite Aussie items like the Aussie hat, made especially for kids' heads, or the mini replica Aussie tee. How cool is that? All for our mini Aussie fans. And if you love Aussie that much, you can even get 3 things in a combo: a hat, a shirt, and a sweatband, all on our website. But one of my favourite items is this one, the Aussie socks, with this little touch here. Stay keen, kids, as always. Available right now on our website, aussieforkids.com. In the meantime, kids, enjoy this episode and stay keen.
Aussie, 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 oi! Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Aussie. G'day Aussie. G'day Aussie. G'day Aussie. G'day
Perfect. Shoots out the top. I got this one, boys. Yep. Marvellous. Just like that, green blood red, the tree slowly coming down. Bye-bye, trees! Done! Stay keen. G'day kids, Ozzie here. Today we're going to do some yard work. Now who loves getting outside and helping in the yard? I bet you do. Following along behind Nan or Pop or Mum and Dad or any of the grown-ups really with your very own garden tools. Now we're going to focus on some grown-up garden tools. We've got some lawn mowers, we've got a hedger, we've got a line trimmer or a whippersnipper, or as some people call it, a weed eater, and we've also got a blower or a leaf blower. Kids, it's going to be so much fun, and today we're going to get started with some lawn mowing. Let's get stuck in. Okay kids, that is the electric or the battery powered mower. It does a pretty sweet job, but let's have a crack at the petrol one. There you go kids. I think this grass is looking pretty good. What do you think? But I think we need to do something else. These edges need to be done, don't they? Let's go and get that whippersnipper and do those edges. Come on. And now we can start cutting. That's hot and sweaty work. Good thing I got my sweatband. So we've done the lawns, we've done those edges. They're looking nice and neat, but we've made an almighty mess, haven't we? There's grass clippings and there's leaves everywhere. Now what are we going to use to clean up these leaves? A leaf blower. So let's go and grab that and get all this cleaned up. Come on. So there you go, kids. That's the leaf blower. Things are looking pretty clean around here. The leaf blowing is one of my favorite things to do. It was always my favorite when I was a kid because it's really easy to do and you can't really get it wrong. It's very, very safe. So if you want to try one of these things at home with your grown-up, leaf blower is the way to go. And you know the best thing about it? It means you're almost finished. Now there is one more piece of equipment that I had over there, and that was, do you remember? It was a hedge trimmer, wasn't it? There's a mighty big hedge over there and needs a lot of trimming. So come on, come and help me with the hedge trimming. Let's go. There you go, kids. I reckon this hedge is looking pretty good. And I reckon this whole yard is looking pretty amazing. Thanks so much for your help. Thanks for joining me today. Remember, when you're helping out in the yard with grown-ups, maybe start with just your toys or even the blower. That's a really good one to start when you're a little kid. Kids, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've learnt lots, and I hope that you've had lots of fun in the yard just like I have. We'll see you on our next video, and until then, stay keen. I've got some leaves to rake up. If you haven't already, make sure you get a grown-up to help you hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of the new and exciting videos that we put out. Speaking of new and exciting, if there's a video that you'd love to see Ozzie do, make sure you send us a message on our socials, on Facebook or Instagram at Aussie for Kids. We'll see you again soon, kids. And until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Aussie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Aussie, 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 oi! Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day, Ozzie. G'day, Ozzie. G'day, Ozzie. G'day, Ozzie. G'day, Ozzie.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Now who loves chainsaws and big cranes, heavy machinery and lots of noise? Well, I certainly do too, kids. Now I know you're gonna love this episode because today we've come along to this place and we're gonna cut down a massive tree. It's a problem tree, it's in the wrong spot and it needs to come down. We've been called in for the big job. Now, safety is very important, kids, when you're dealing with chainsaws and big machinery. So, as Ozzie always says, safety first. Let's get some safety gear on. And we're gonna need to have our safety glasses. We definitely need a safety helmet to protect our head. We need some earmuffs to protect our ears. They'll go on there in a second. And of course, we need a high-vis vest so that all our workmates can see us and know where we are. So the guys have already started. You can hear the noise in the background and see we've got some cones here and some signage just to let people know that this area, there's work happening. So you've got to make sure that if you come in here, you're protected, you've got your safety gear, and you make sure you're doing things properly and safely. Now check out, they've got a big truck over here, and this thing here, check this out. This is called a chipper, a wood chipper. And it's a bandit. How good is it? Come around this side. You can see all the trees, branches that have been cut down already, and they're sitting there ready to go in there. So when this machine gets turned on, that goes through there. It's amazing. It gets pulled in there and it goes, gets chewed up, turned into bark, and it gets spat out this big pole here, this big thing here, and goes into the back of the truck. Turns it into wood chips. So this is a very important piece of machinery when you're doing any kind of tree removal. But it's also very, very dangerous. That's why it's got safety features. See these things here? We've got big emergency stop buttons. We've got these poles here you pull it this way to make it go, to make it stop. You pull it that way to make it reverse. And you've got this really important safety feature down here. That's what you can hit with your knee or your leg. So you go bang like that, and that'll stop the machine straight away. So that if anything's going wrong, you might get yourself in there quickly press that, boom, it'll stop, and everything's gonna be safe. All right, what else can we find? Kids, look at this, a little excavator. Wow. Tell you what, this is gonna make our job a whole lot easier today, because those big branches that we can't actually pull out using our own physical strength, it's gonna grab the branches and drag them up there. So here's the excavator in action, kids. Look, it's got the grabber on the end. Just like in other Aussie videos, we've described the excavator different parts before. That's the grabber, and see how he's grabbed that? And he's just dragging that tree right up here. And that wood chipper can just take that whole tree branch and just munch it up and spit it out the other side. It's unbelievable. That chipper can actually take 19-inch branches. So we're talking something like that big. You can just take it, the whole thing, into that, chomps it up, spits it out. That's getting pretty noisy, so I'm going to put my earmuffs on. Is that wood chipper? Look at that. Check this out. So just like that, kids, we had one man on one side and one man on the excavator working together to feed all those branches, the little ones, the really big ones, and they all just went straight into the chipper, woo, straight out the other side. How good's that? Okay, so kids, this is the project for today. This is the big tree, and it's a beautiful tree, but it's in the wrong spot, and it's only gonna grow even taller, probably another 30 meters, and that's no good because all the houses around here are gonna be in danger if this thing grows too much taller. So it's gotta come down, unfortunately. So the guys are here doing all things very safely. You can see that all the branches have been taken down all the way up to where the man is up the tree. How cool will that job be? Hanging up there in the tree, chopping down the branches. So you can see it takes a few people to make this happen. We've got a guy down here on the ropes. We've got a man up in the tree. And what he's doing up there is he's going to wrap that rope around the branch, put it in a special spot, and then he's going to chop the branch. And then the man on the ground, he's going to slowly lower that tree branch down. The excavator is going to pick it up. Then it goes to the chipper, gets fed into the machine, and get taken away. And they do that step by step until they get all the branches down. And then they take the big trunk. We're going to see that a bit later. All right, so kids, this looks like a whole lot of fun. And I don't know, I reckon that'd be pretty good to be up there. But if you want to become just like these guys and climb trees and learn how to cut them down properly, to be a professional tree lopper, guess what it's called? It's called an arborist. So it's a very specialised skill that you need to do training for so you can become as good as these guys. No worries, boys, I'll get this one. Yep. Yeah, I don't need the excavator. I'm good. I got this one. Oh. I'm an arborist. So it doesn't snow in Australia very often. This is the closest we're going to get. It's a sawdust shower. So with all that sawdust falling around us, that's why it's very, very important to have our safety glasses on. And did you see how hard that log hit the ground? That's why it's very important to keep our distance back here, because if one of those logs hits one of the other ones on the ground, it could ricochet up, send wood flying everywhere. And if you have a look on the fence here, it sent mud flying everywhere. So safety glasses, very, very important. So I've just seen Luke come down. He's finally finished up the tree. He doesn't need to be up there anymore. He's finished all his cuts. The last cut that needs to be done is from the ground. So we're just going to do one big cut down here, pull the tree stump over that way, and then we're going to take those bits of the tree, send them into the chipper, into the truck, into wood chips, and then we're done. Done. So Luke's finished the last cut down here, and we see the excavators had the rope on the end of it. That's because this is a really, really heavy part of the tree. So too heavy for 3 people to pull. The excavator had the rope, and that was pulling it backwards so that it knew exactly where it needed to go. It just guided that tree right down into the gap, then the excavator can come pick it up and take it over, chop it up, and we'll be done. Imagine how heavy that thing is. That's why they need an excavator. Is there any more cuts? Are you done?
We're done.
We're done. I'm too late to the party. I was going to have a go, kids, but no. I've left it to the professionals. This is a very dangerous piece of equipment, all of these chainsaws. That's why you've got to be qualified, and you leave these guys to do the job, not for Aussie. But I'll just show you these things here. These are the blades, and this is the motor. And then you start it by pulling that, okay? And then you press the lever here. You've got to press this one down on the top, press that one, and that's what makes this chain go round and round, or the blade, and that's what spins really, really fast. The motor makes a whole lot of noise, and when that spins really fast, it just cuts straight through the wood. Small one for the nice small branches all the way up the tree, and the big long ones for those big chunky sections of the tree. How much fun are these things? I feel like I want to go and become an arborist. What do you reckon, kids? Good fun, eh? So the guys have packed up all the equipment, we've cleaned up all that tree, that huge big tree has been chipped and it's in the back of that truck, and that gets used to spread around council land. So nothing gets wasted here. How cool is that? So there you go, kids. I'm standing right here where this big tree used to be, standing about 30 or 40 meters right up into the sky. It had to come down because of safety reasons, but I was here today with Tree Serve taking us through the process of how to cut this tree down from top to bottom using the chainsaws, the chipper, the excavator, and a whole lot of skill. Kids, I hope you've loved this episode today. It's been super fun. We'll see you on another episode of Aussie very soon. And until then, stay keen. If you haven't already, make sure you get a grown-up to help you hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of the new and exciting videos that we put out. Speaking of new and exciting, if there's a video that you'd love to see Aussie do, make sure you send us a message on our socials, on Facebook or Instagram at Aussie for Kids. We'll see you again soon, kids. And until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Aussie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Aussie, 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 oi! Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie.
G'day kids, Aussie here. Now we are back for another awesome Aussie episode and we are going to do one of my favourite things today, and I know that it's one of your favourite things too. Do you know what this is? That's right, it's a lawnmower, which means we are going to mow the lawn together. Now today kids, we're going to have some fun. We're going to mow some lines in our lawn. Have you ever watched sport on TV and seen the awesome lines and the checker patterns that go through the grass? Well, that's done by professionals. Aussie's not a professional lawnmower, but I'm gonna have a crack. So we're gonna see if we can use this awesome little Ryobi push mower and mow some stripes in this beautiful Aussie backyard lawn. Now the professionals, they use a special piece of equipment called a striper, and that goes on the back of the lawnmower, whether it's a push mower or a big ride-on, and that helps push the blades down to create that pattern of stripes or checkers. We don't have that today, so we're gonna try a couple of little tricks adjusting the height of our lawnmower to try and get the same effect. Do you reckon we can do it? I think we can, and I think it's going to be fun. Now kids, as always, safety first. So it's Aussie summer here. We're going to make sure we look after our skin. So we're going to slap on a little bit of sunscreen. Very important. Am I good? Is it all rubbed in? All right, got my hat, got my sunscreen. What other safety equipment do we need, kids? Well, lawnmowers can be loud, so we're gonna make sure that we've got some ear protection with our earmuffs. And we've got to protect our eyes, so we've got some safety glasses. Now the last bit of safety equipment down there is gloves. They're optional. I'm not gonna use those today, but they are another bit of safety equipment if you want to use them. Then we move on to the mower. We're going to do our safety checks, but what do we need to make sure is in the mower so that it drives? Well, this mower is a petrol powered or a gas powered mower, so we need to make sure that we've got some fuel, some petrol or gas, and that goes just in here underneath that cap. Now there's a little bit in there, but we're going to need some more. take that cap off. And then you just pour it in here like this. Right, and once that's full, always make sure you put that petrol cap on, both the can and of course on your lawnmower. Then we're good to go. Okay, so we've got lots of fuel in our lawnmower. Just going to spin it around. So today we're going to use the height adjuster on our lawnmower to mow really close and then a little bit longer, and that's how we're going to get the stripes in the lawn today. So we're going to use this lever here, and that adjusts the deck height. This here is called the deck, and this is the height. So we can go all the way from number 7 all the way down to number 1. See how that's going really, really close to the ground there? Well, that lowers the deck and the blade inside it and cuts the grass really, really short. Then if we go all the way to number 7, see how that lifts that whole deck and the blade up off the grass and cuts it a whole lot longer. All right, so we've got numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, what's after 4? 5, 6, 7. Good job, kids. Numbers 1 to 7, 1 being the shortest and 7 being the longest. And let me just show you under here. There's the blade, look at that. Now we don't want to touch that with our fingers, do we? No way, because that is super sharp. But that is going to spin around really, really fast. Really, really fast. And that is going to cut the grass as it's spinning. And what happens with the grass when it gets cut? Shoots out the back into the catch. This here, it's called the catch. So that's empty. That's ready to go. I'm going to pop that back on our lawnmower over here. And just slide that in there. And she's good to go. Now the next thing would be to start it. I'm going to pull this lever and pop this one down to start or run. But before we mow the lawn in the backyard, we need to make sure the backyard's clear. Now being an Aussie backyard, there's lots of play equipment here. So come on kids, come with me. See if you can help me lift this big piece of equipment. Now we're almost ready to start, kids. You can see, I've got a little lawnmower here. If you've got a lawnmower at home and you want to join Aussie as I'm mowing these stripes, then grab it out in the lounge room or wherever it is that you're watching and push along with Aussie. That's what kids usually love to do with their grown-ups, isn't it? That's heaps of fun. Okay, we've moved all the play equipment out of the way. Well, those that we can. That's too big. I'm gonna have to mow around that one. But we're gonna start now. Safety gear on, and then we're gonna start working our way around the outside, which is also called the perimeter. Now the height we're gonna start on is number 6. I'm gonna start on number 6. Let's go. All right kids, I've just turned the lawnmower off because as you can see down here, it's starting to leave a little bit of grass behind, which tells me that that catch is already full. We've done a couple of stripes, but this grass is super long. The owner of this house has let it go for a long time, so we need to take that off. Look at that, beautiful, freshly cut grass. Nothing better in the Aussie summer than freshly cut grass. I'm going to take this down to the bin and empty it. And there you go, that's empty, ready to go back on our lawnmower. Whew. It's hot work. Good thing I've always got my sweatband ready. And of course, my water, my H2O. She's looking good, looking real good. All right, kids, it's looking pretty good. Time to do some cleaning up of these edges. And to do that, I'm going to use my trusty line trimmer or whippersnipper, also known as a weed eater. But safety gear on first, then off we go. All right, so we've got the blower here and we're going to... Sorry kids, you can't hear me when that's on. So we've made a big mess here. It's time to use our blower, clean it all up, and then I reckon it's almost job done. What do you reckon, kids? I think that is a job well done. That was a lot of fun mowing those stripes into our lawn today. I hope you've learnt lots about lawnmowers and how to have a bit of fun when you're mowing lawn, getting those stripes. But did you know that there's lots of different patterns as well? You can see crisscross, you can see circles, you can see all sorts of wild, crazy patterns. Kids, hope you've enjoyed today's episode. We'll see you on another Aussie episode coming up this weekend. Until then, happy lawn mowing and stay keen. G'day kids, nothing better than after a hard session in the yard, doing lots of housework and yard work, reward yourself with some cold fresh water and an ice block. Stay keen. All right now kids, we've had a lot of fun creating these stripes, we've finished those, but I think this backyard is perfect to turn into a backyard cricket pitch. Everyone loves a bit of backyard cricket here in Australia, so I'm going to mow one in here and see how we go. Let's have some fun. It's looking good, but I reckon we go shorter. Look at that. She's a beauty. Let's get the stumps in and roll the arm over. Oh, look at those stumps. All right, all we need is a crease so that we can... Got the perfect thing for a temporary backyard cricket crease. Flower. Look at that kids. We are ready for an awesome game of backyard cricket. Here, roll one into me. 4 runs. There you go, kids. Who doesn't love a bit of backyard cricket? And who doesn't love the backyard cricket pitch that we've mowed together today? See you again soon, kids. Stay keen. If you haven't already, make sure you get a grown-up to help you hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of the new and exciting videos that we put out. Speaking of new and exciting, if there's a video that you'd love to see Ozzie do, make sure you send us a message on our socials, on Facebook or Instagram at Aussie for Kids. We'll see you again soon, kids. And until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Aussie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Aussie, 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 oi! Aussie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie. G'day Ozzie.
G'day kids, Ozzie here. Now I am just a little bit excited today. I am in my happy place because we've come along to Prompt Mowers and we're going to learn all about lawn mowers. But not just your push lawn mowers, we're going to go straight to the big bad boys, the ride-on lawn mowers. I'm super keen, kids. Come and check these out. Let's go. So kids, we've got 3 different types of lawn mowers to talk about today. We've got more of your traditional type here. This is a ride-on mower, or otherwise known as a lawn tractor. The one in the middle, that's a 0 turn. And then the one down the end, that's a rear engine or a front cutter. So let's start with this lawn mower, kids. I reckon this one's gonna be one of my favorites. Can you guess why? That's right, it's green and gold, just like Aussie. So this is a John Deere ride-on lawn mower or a lawn tractor. Check this out. This is the chute. So when the grass is cutting, the grass is going to come out the chute. Got a nice yellow seat. Looks comfy, doesn't it? If we lift that up, see that there? That's where the petrol goes. Got this lever over here. You see that? That controls the deck height. Goes up and down, just like that. All right, this one here, that's a brake. So when you're not driving it and you don't want it to roll anywhere, gotta make sure you put the brake on. But check this out. This is where the engine is. I can open it up and have a look inside. Oh, look at that, kids. So that's the engine. That's what's going to drive this thing. It goes pretty fast, and that's the battery. That's how you start it. Just close that one back up again. But let's jump on, shall we? So you just sit up here when you're driving it, and it's a steering wheel just like a car. Okay, then you've got a lever here. Push it forward to go a little bit faster. Can you see the picture down here? It's a picture of a hare and a tortoise. Which one do you think is going to go faster? That's right, the hare is going to be faster. You push it forward to make that engine spin faster, and then the tortoise will make it go a little bit slower. All right, that's pretty much everything. Should we fire it up and go for a drive? Let's do it, kids. So that, kids, that's a ride-on lawnmower. How much fun is that? Let's go and check out the 0 turn. So kids, this is a 0 turn. So what looks different to you? Well, it's red, of course, so does that make it go faster maybe? I don't know, maybe. But is there a steering wheel on this one? No, that's right, there's no steering wheel. That's because you steer using these things. These cool levers here. Everything else looks pretty similar, but there's no engine on the front, is there? There's an engine on the front on that one, but the engine is on the back. Come check it out. So we've got the engine sitting on the back of this one. But other than that, you've got the chute that comes out the side, you've got the deck underneath, that's what cuts the grass. It does look a little bit bigger, doesn't it? So that's because the blades are bigger, so it's probably gonna cut a little bit more grass. And it is going to go a little bit faster, not because it's red, but that's because it's got a bigger engine. But let's jump on and check out how it goes. Okay kids, so there's no steering wheel on this guy. That's because this is essentially your steering wheel. So when you want to go forward, you push it forward. When you want to go backwards, you push it backwards. But these things move individually like that because this one on the right controls the right rear wheel. This one on the left controls the left rear wheel. And that's why it's called a zero turn, because if you push them in opposite directions, you can do super quick turns on the spot in a zero spot. Zero turn. That makes sense? All right, we've got some other controls down here. You've got the park brake. You've got that hare and the tortoise again. So that's forwards and backwards to make the engine rev and spin quicker. Okay, you've got the choke here. So you need to have the choke on to start it. And you need to have these guys open to start too. You've got a pedal down here and that controls the deck height. So up and down, how short or how long you want the grass. All right, I think we're ready to give this thing a go. Should we try and start it? Let's go, kids. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Backwards. Now that is a whole lot of fun, kids. You see those tight little circles I was doing? That's because of the way it drives. That's the difference between this one and the ride-on mower or the lawn tractor. Let's go and check out this one over here. This one is the rear engine or the front cutter. Let's check out the differences on this one. So when you turn the steering wheel, it's the back wheels that turn. And that makes it really good for getting in around tight places like trees and stuff. Now this is where the engine is. Come check this out. So the engine sits at the back, so behind where the driver sits, which is really good because all the noise and the heat and all the smoke comes out the back. So it's a bit more comfortable to drive. So we've got this lever here, and check that out. That controls the deck height. And with the deck, the cutting deck at the front, it means you can get in under bushes. So you can drive in and cut under shrubs and bushes and stuff. You've also got the blade height here, so how close you're cutting the grass. And you've got the other controls here. You've got that hare and tortoise again. And you've also got the start and stop switch there. Come around here, that's where the petrol goes, or the fuel. And you check out, this is where the cutting deck is, but you can see that there's no chute. So with no chute, the grass has nowhere to go. So the grass goes back through the blades and gets cut again. So it's like mulching it as well as cutting it, and it doesn't leave a big spread of grass in its trail. So come on, let's check it out, what it's like when we start it. We've got the foot brake here, and we've got an accelerator to go forward, and this pedal is to go backwards. Let's start it up and see how we go. Ooh, I like the sound of this one. All right, we'll take the foot brake off. All right, check out those wheels. So you can see how it like turns in the middle. All right, let's go for a little spin. Cool. That's cool, isn't it? 3 different types of ride-on mowers. Which one's your favourite? Yeah? We've got the ride-on mower down the end there, which is also known as a lawn tractor. We've got the zero turn. We've got this one that we're sitting on here, which is the rear engine or the front cutter. Yeah, I quite like the green and gold. I quite like how fast the zero turn is, but I reckon this guy would be pretty fun to cut some grass in. So kids, what do you reckon we should do right now? Let's go do what lawn mowers do best. Let's cut some grass. All right, we're going to engage. Woo-hoo-hoo! So there you go, kids. How much fun is it when you get to cut the grass on a ride-on lawnmower just like this? I hope you've learnt lots about ride-on lawnmowers. I hope you've had lots of fun today. I certainly have. We'll see you on our next video. Until then, stay keen. Hey kids, did you have lots of fun today watching Aussie? I hope so. Did you know that we've got a heap of Aussie episodes on our YouTube channel? If you haven't already, go back and have a scroll through. I reckon you'll find some others that you absolutely love. And while you're there, why don't you hit subscribe? That way you won't miss out on any of our new videos that we bring out. We'll see you again soon, kids. Until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Aussie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Aussie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of